Okay, is my screen visible, students?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. So, okay, I welcome one and all for this class on engineering mechanics. So in the previous class, we studied about the concept of Lamis theorem, and I also give a couple of numerical examples on how to use Lamis theorem and get the unknown forces. Now let me take this numerical example here, where I would like to find out the tension in these two strings. Let me first explain you what is this problem. Suppose assume this is a wall. Okay, this is a wall, and to this wall, two strings have been attached. One string is AC and the other string is AB. Okay, both the strings are making an angle theta1 and theta2 with respect to the horizontal. So that angle is not given. But at this point A, there is something hanging down, which is 2 kilonewton, and there is one more force which is on this side, which is 3 kilonewtons. Now this point A from the wall is 2 meter distant at a distance of 2 meters, and the point B is at a distance of 1 meter from this horizontal, and point C is at a distance of 1 plus 1.5, that is 2.5 meters from the horizontal. Now you have been asked to find out what are the tensions produced in these strings. Okay, why the tension will be produced? Because you're actually applying one force of 3 kilonewton on this side, and you're also applying one more force of 2 kilonewton on downward side. So because of these two forces, there will be tension in these two strings. So you have been asked to find out what is that tension. Now first tell me, I want all of you to tell me whether can I apply Lamis theorem here or not. Can I apply Lamis theorem or not? That is my question, basic question. Yes, students. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Am, yeah. Can I apply Lamis theorem or not? Huh? What happened? Tell me either one, any one answer you tell me whether can I apply or not.
No, sir.
Why?
Yes. Four forces.
Sir, four
What?
forces.
Yes, perfect. Four forces are acting. See here. One is this one is this one. That is the tension in these two things which are unknown. The third one is this 3 kilonewton and the fourth one is this 2 kilonewton. Since four forces are acting at a point A, I cannot apply Lamis theorem. So when you know that you can't apply Lamis theorem, you have to go for equilibrium equations. Okay, you have to go for equilibrium equations. So first let me draw point A and draw whatever forces which are acting at that point. So let me do that. So this is my point A. Okay, let me draw the forces. One force is in this direction and the other force is little bit downward, and this it is in this direction, and the given forces, sorry, and the given forces are, okay, let me draw them also in the same color. This is given force and this is also the given force. So this is given it as 3 kilonewtons. They have given it as 3 kilonewtons, and this they have given it as 2 kilonewtons. Let me call this as, say, tension in the string TCA, tension in the string CA, and let me call this as a tension in the string AB. Okay, let me mark X and Y axis. So this is say X axis, and let me mark the Y axis. Let me mark this as a Y axis. Okay, and also you don't know what are the angles made. So this angle they have given it as theta 2. This angle they have told it as theta 2, and this angle they have told it as theta 1. Now, how can you find theta 1 and theta 2? It is a very simple thing here. You can see if you see this right angle triangle, that is BD and A. Okay, BDA right angle triangle. If you see, I can easily write that theta 1 is equal to tan inverse of BD, which is 1, tan inverse of BD, that is 1, divided by TA, which is 2. Okay, so from this you can get the value of theta 1, so which is tan inverse of 0.5, which is 26.56. Similarly, you can find theta 2. To find theta 2, you have to see right angle triangle CD and A. Okay, right angle CD and A. So if I do that, theta 2 is actually tan inverse of CD, which is 1 plus 1.5, that is 2.5 divided by DA, which is 2. So theta 2 is equal to tan inverse of 2.5 divided by 2, which is 51.34. Are you clear, students? Is it okay? Have you understood the angle calculation?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. Okay, right. So once you know the calculation of these angles, let me move further and apply the equations of equilibrium so that I can get the forces in the unknown forces. Okay, let me do that. Just give me some time. Okay, right. So then I have to apply the equations of equilibrium. But before that, since these two forces are inclined, so I have to get the components of that. So the horizontal component TBA is like this, and the horizontal component of TCA will be in this direction. Similarly, the vertical component will be like this, and the vertical component of this one will be in this fashion. First, let me apply the first equilibrium equation. Summation of all the forces in x direction as 0. That is summation of fx equal to 0. Either you can take any one equilibrium equation. It is not compulsory that you have to take summation of fx only at the first time. So I'm taking summation of fx here first. Okay, and my sign convention is all the forces in this direction as positive. Okay, let us start. So should I take 2 in summation of fx equal to 0 equation, students? Should I take 2 kilonewton or not? What about
No,
this 2?
sir.
No, you should not take, right? Because it is purely in y direction. So, but I should take 3. Since 3 is in a positive x-axis, so I should write it as plus 3. Then coming to this TCA. So the horizontal component of TCA will be, okay, it is TCA cos of theta 2. That is TCA cos of 51.34. Let me write that TCA cos of 50 cos of 51.34. So should I put plus or minus, students, to this? Is my screen visible, students?
No, sir.
Yeah, just a minute. Yeah, is it visible now? Is it visible now?
No, sir. Not.
No,
Okay, just a minute.
sir.
Yeah, what about now?
Yes, sir. It is visible.
Okay, right. So for TCA cos 51.34, should I put plus or minus, students?
Minus, sir.
Yeah, minus, right? Because it is in the negative x-axis. So I should put it as minus. Then coming to this one. Okay, so that also will be minus TAB cos of theta 1. So but theta 1 is 26.56. So cos of 26.56. So you can see apart from these three, no any other force is there in a x direction. So I should equate it to 0. So let me just put it in a simplified format. So cos 51.34 will be cos 51.34 is actually 0.62. So I should write it as minus 0.62 TCA. Then cos 26.56 is 0.89. So let me write it as minus 0.89 TAB. What I will do, this 3, I will take it on right hand side. So it will become minus 3. Then I will multiply the whole equation by minus. So what will happen in that case? So it will be 0.62 TCA plus 0.89 TAB equal to 3. Now, if you see this equation, students, there are two unknowns involved in this. So you can't solve this equation directly. So what I will do, let me call this equation as say equation A. OK, then I will move on further and let me write the equation for the next, that is next equilibrium equation. Let me write it as the next one is summation of all the forces in y direction as 0. And what sign convention I'll be taking? So all the upward forces I'm taking it as positive. So let me start. So this 2 will now be considered, and since it is acting in the downward direction, so I should write it as minus 2, right? Then 3 should not be taken into consideration because it is in purely x direction. But when you see the y component of TCA, it is in the upward direction. So I should take it as plus TCA plus TCA, and it will now be sine 51.34. Okay. Then about TAB also, that also will be plus. So I should take it as plus TAB sine 26.56 equal to 0. Are you clear, students, with this equation?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, let me just simplify this. So sine 51.34 is 0.78. So let me write it as 0.78 TCA plus sine 26.56 is 0.44. So I will write it as plus 0.44 TAB. I will take this minus 2 on this side, right hand side, so it will become 2. So you can see this also involves two equations. So let me call this as equation B. Yes, students. Now you are stuck here. So you have used both the equilibrium equations which were available to you, and you got two equations which involves two unknowns, and you can't proceed further. So what you should do now to get these unknowns? What you should do? There are two equations with two unknowns. How to go ahead with this? Yes, students, how to go ahead with this?
Sir, equating.
Equating. What you will equate?
Both equation 1 and 2, sir.
So what will happen if you equate both 1 and 2?
Any one value gives any one value quotient, sir. TAB or TCA.
Mm,
Or multiplying
almost. Yes.
multiplying 3 or 2 3 equation 2, sir.
Mm, you know, but you are unable to tell that. Let me tell you. Are they not like simultaneous equations? Yes or no? Are they not like a simultaneous equation in this form? A1x plus P1y equal to C1, A2x plus B2y equal to C2. Are they not like these simultaneous equations, students?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what will happen in our case, if you take this first equation as equation A and second equation as equation B, what will be the value of A1? The value of A1 will be 0.62. Value of B1 will be what? 0.89. And value of C1 will be 3. Similarly, if you see this equation B, what will the value of A2? 0.78. What will be the value of B2? 0.44. And what will be the value of C2? It will be 2, right? And what will be the values of X? X will be TCA, which is unknown, and Y will be TAB. Correct or not, students? Yes. So
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
then how will you solve simultaneous equations? Do you know how to solve it in calculator? Anybody knows how to solve the simultaneous equations in calculator? No, right? Okay. So what I will do, just uh, hold for a minute. Let me check on the Google whether can I get to the scientific calculator. Okay, I'm unable to get that. Okay, no issues. After this class, I will give you a video on how to use a scientific calculator to solve the simultaneous equations. So I will solve this here by now, and after this class, I will give you the video how I have solved that. Okay, so let me solve this. So A1 is 0.62, B1 is 0.89, C1 is 3, A2 is 0.78, B2 is 0.44, C2 is 2. Okay, so I'm getting TAC as 1.09 kilonewtons and TAB as 2.61. Are you clear, students? I'm sure you don't know how I did this, but till these equations A and B, are you clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I will give you a video on how I actually directly solved on the calculator uh, for these simultaneous equations. Okay. You also know how to do it manually, but don't do it that way because it will take a lot of time. So on the calculator, it will be a very easy process to do that. I will tell you how to do that. Okay. So any doubts in this numerical example, students? So this is how you can actually use the only equilibrium equations to solve the unknown forces when you are unable to apply the Lami's theorem directly. In that case, only you can go ahead with this procedure. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Now let me come back and regarding Lami's theorem only. Now, whatever problems I have solved till now, they are actually called as connected body problems. Okay, whatever problems I have solved till now, they are actually called as connected body problems. So we have one more type of problem called problems on spheres. They are called problems on spheres. Let me explain you what is that. But before that, I want you to just understand this concept. Suppose say this is some surface. Suppose say this is some surface. On this surface, let me say this is a sphere. Sphere of anything like you can imagine like a iron sphere, steel sphere, or whatever. Now this sphere is actually resting on this surface. Okay, it is called as surface. Right? Now this sphere is made up of some material. So because of that, it will be having some weight. Do you agree? It will be having some weight, and that weight will be exactly acting downwards because of the acceleration due to gravity. Okay, that will be exactly acting at the downwards, and it will actually pass through the center of the sphere. Now, when the sphere is resting on a surface and it has some weight, its own weight, there will be an equal amount of reaction. There will be an equal amount of reaction from the surface. Okay, there will be an equal amount of reaction from the surface. So that reaction we term it as R. In this case, it is very easy to say that whatever weight of the sphere is there, so that will be exactly equal to the reaction. That will be exactly equal to the reaction because uh, uh, without reaction, what will happen? It will fall down, right? Without reaction, this sphere will fall down. So since there is a reaction, so the sphere is standing at its own space. Okay, the meaning is actually for this system, there is an equilibrium equation which is getting satisfied. That is summation of all the forces. If you take in y direction 0, so it means that W minus R is equal to 0. For equilibrium to be satisfied, W should be equal to R. That is whatever weight of the sphere is there, equal amount of reaction will be applied on that. Are you clear, students?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And one more thing, the property of this reaction is, please listen this very carefully. This is very important. The property of the reaction is it will be always perpendicular to the reaction. Perpendicular to the contact surface. The reaction will be always perpendicular to the contact surface. Means the angle made by the reaction with respect to the contact surface will be always equal to 90 degrees. Are you clear? Means in this case. Are you clear, students?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So if you understand this much, then we can move ahead and solve one example on sphere and tell me, I will let you know how you can use Lamis theorem in this case also. Okay. Now this is one surface and this is one more surface and this is one more surface. Assume that this sphere has been kept inside this box. Okay, you can call it as a box. This is one surface, this is one surface. Okay, and a sphere has been kept inside this. Now there are few contact points. The sphere here is actually touching here, and this same sphere, it is touching this contact surface at this point. Okay, it is not touching here because you can see there is a gap. So two contact surfaces are there. So two contact surfaces means obviously there should be two reactions. Agree or not? Two contact surfaces means two reactions should be there at that point. Yes or no?
Yes.
So you have to find what are the reactions at these contact points. You have to find what are the reactions at these contact points, and the weight of the sphere is given as 100 kilonewtons. So now you need to find out what are the contact points. So let me take this sphere outside, somewhere outside here, and draw something called as free body diagram. Means I will draw what are the uh, loads which are acting on this sphere. The first, uh, I mean say the first load which will be acting on this sphere is its self weight only. Okay, the first load which will be acting on the surface is its self weight only, and it is given as 100 kilonewtons. Okay, then let me mark these contact surfaces. So one contact surface is like this, and the other contact surface is like this. Sorry. And the other contact surface is like this. Okay, so let me just rub a little bit part. Okay, these are the contact surfaces. And previously, just now I told you that always the reaction at a contact point will be always perpendicular to the contact surface. Means the reaction will be like this. Reaction at this contact surface will be like this, and the reaction at this contact surface will be like this. Sorry. It will be like this. Okay, so let me name them. Let me name uh, this contact point as say point A, and let me name this contact point as say point B. So in that case, let me call this reaction as say RA, and I can say this reaction as RB. And how these reactions are? These reactions are always perpendicular to the contact surface. Perpendicular to the contact surface. So if this is the contact surface, so these reactions will be always perpendicular to that contact surface. Means this angle will be always 90 degree and this angle will also be 90 degree. So this is my point A and this is my point B, right? And this is the center point of the sphere. Are you clear, students, with this diagram? Are you clear with this diagram?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then Let me redraw this diagram so that it becomes very easy for me to apply the Lamis theorem. So what I will do, I will take the center point of the sphere. I will take the center point of the sphere. So let me draw the weight of the sphere in this direction, which is actually equal to 100 kilonewtons. OK, then let me draw this reaction here. Call it as a RA. And let me draw this reaction, that is RB, in this direction. Let me call this as a RB. So now students, to draw from this diagram to this diagram, what principle of forces I have used so that I could be able to draw this type of a diagram? What principle of forces I have applied? Which principle of forces I have applied?
Principle of superposition.
No.
Transmissibility, sir.
Yes, correct. I have actually applied principle of transmissibility of forces. OK, I have applied principle of transmissibility of forces so that only I can be able to draw this. Now, tell me whether can I apply Lamis theorem? Can I apply
Yes.
Lamis theorem? Yes, perfect. OK, I can easily apply Lamis theorem. Why? Because there are coplanar concurrent forces acting away from a point and all of them are in equilibrium. So I can apply the Lamis theorem very easily. But the hurdle or the object means the hurdle is means the what is stopping me is I don't know the angles, right? I don't know the angles between them, but surely I can calculate them. OK, I can easily calculate them. How I can calculate them? Let me just tell you. OK, I will come to this picture once again. So you can see here, this angle is making an angle 30 degree with respect to horizontal. It is given here already. OK, this surface is making an angle 30 degree with respect to horizontal. It means that if I extend this line, OK, this angle is given as 30 degree. This angle is given as 30 degree, right? So, and this is 30 degree and this is 90 degree. Then is it possible for me to calculate this angle? See, this is 30 degree. This is 90 degree. Then how much will be this angle, students?
60 degrees, sir.
60 degree. How you told 60 degree?
180 minus total,
Yes,
sir.
the total angle of the total angle by all the sides in a triangle should be 180 degree, right? So in that case, this angle is 60 degree. So it means that this angle is actually 60 degree. OK, so it means that the angle made by the RA with respect to horizontal is 60 degree. It means this angle is 60 degree. Similarly, if I take this triangle now, OK, so this you can see here, this surface, that is this surface with respect to horizontal is making an angle 60 degree. This is making an angle 60 degree, right? So and this is 90 degree. So 90 plus 60 is 150 and the remaining this should be 30 degree, right? It means the angle made by RB with respect to horizontal is 30 degree. So this angle is 30 degree. Have you understood, students? Have you understood how I calculated these two angles?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Then
Yes.
now it is very easy for me to calculate the whole angle. So 30 plus this as 90, that is 30 plus 90. This is 120. 60 plus 90. This will be 150. 150 plus 120 is actually 270 and the remaining should be 90 degree. Are you clear, students? Yes. Now I can easily apply the Lami's theorem. So which is 100 divided by sine of 90 is equal to RB divided by sine of 150 equal to RA divided by sine of 120. You can do cross multiplications. As I told earlier, so you can get the values of RB. So let me get the value of RB. It is 100 multiplied by sine of 150 divided by sine of 90, which is 50 kilonewtons. Similarly, I can get the value of RA as 100 divided by sine of 90 multiplied by sine of 120, which comes out to be 86.6 kilonewtons. Are you clear, students?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so this is how we do it, the problems on the spheres using the Lami's theorem. So in the next class, we will solve few more examples on the sphere problems, and I will tell you how to use the Lami's theorem and how to use the equilibrium equations in the sphere problems. Okay, so if any doubts are there, or if you would like to ask me anything, you can ask me, or else I can just close the meeting. So anything is there, students?